Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Governor Andy Beshear appeared in South Carolina speaking at the Georgetown County Democratic Party dinner. And Kentucky Educational Television is set to lose millions in federal funding, potentially impacting more than 2 million Kentuckians that they serve weekly.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. Happy Friday to you. I'm Amelia Lee here on this July 18th. We're at 6 o'clock this morning, and it's time to take a look at our weather with meteorologist Jim Caldwell. Jim, tell us what's going on.
It is another First Alert weather day. Not only today, but now what we've done is we have extended it. Okay, this is going to go through your Tuesday, because we have continued rounds of showers, thunderstorms that could lead to flash flooding and more strong to severe activity. So it's been expanded quite a bit here for you. So those rounds of storms will continue to roll across Kentucky, and then you're going to get in on more activity like that for the next few days. Highs today. Now look at this. I know they're all over the place, but this is just the nature of the beast when you're talking about showers and storms. I've got low 80s, mid 80s, upper 80s, all on the map. Even got 70s showing up over there in West Virginia. So it's a very tricky one overall because of the presence of that rain, just like it has been these past few days. Again, stormy, steamy, and then we just continue on with a scattered chance. Watch those northwest skies, though. That's something I'll detail in the full forecast all morning long for you.
In Laurel County, a grand jury will hear the case of an 18-year-old charged with attempted murder. Zachary Setzer was arrested after police say he shot a man multiple times. This incident happened last week on American Greeting Card Road. The victim said Setzer reportedly got into a disagreement. A court hearing for Setzer was scheduled for August 15th. He's in the Laurel County Correctional Center on a $100,000 bond. A Lee County, Virginia woman was sentenced to 12 years in prison for meth and fentanyl distribution. According to the Commonwealth's attorney, Amanda Schuler distributed and conspired to distribute meth and fentanyl between July 21st and September 27th of last year. Sunday's mass shooting in Lexington left behind multiple victims, including Randy Combs. He's still in the hospital recovering, while also grieving the loss of his wife, Christina Combs. She and her mother, Beverly Gum, died at Richmond Road Baptist Church. Madison Carmouche talked to family members about how they're trying to move forward.
On Sunday, they woke up, got their children ready, and went to church, not thinking that something like this was going to happen.
Randy Combs is recovering after suffering from multiple gunshot wounds to the face. He was at his family church, Richmond Road Baptist, when he was shot and his wife of 15 years was killed. Combs' family says his own injuries are not the worst of his challenges. He and his wife shared 5 children who are now in mourning.
My cousin Randy has a very long road ahead of him, and he is now responsible for 5 children that have needs every single day.
Combs is still in the hospital and cannot talk or breathe on his own because of his wounds, but his family has been by his side every step of the way, including his children who visit daily.
She's broke down crying because she didn't want to leave her dad. You know, I get it. You know, you see your mom get shot and the only person you have left is your dad.
Combs' aunt, Heather Combs, says their family has come together to make sure the children feel supported in this difficult time. She says Combs is in the best spirits considering what he's gone through and what is yet to come in his recovery.
I hope and pray that he's able to come out of this and live a somewhat normal life, even though we know that this is something that he and his children are going to think about every single day.
The family says they pray no other families will have to go through an act of violence like this. In Lexington, Madison Carmouche, WKYT.
Well, the family does have fundraisers in place for the couple's children and for Combs' recovery. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear appeared in the Grand Strand of South Carolina Thursday. He was speaking at the Georgetown County Democratic Party dinner held at the Litchfield Country Club. The governor of a state that President Donald Trump won, Beshear spoke on his work in the rural areas of Kentucky and how Democrats can find victory in red states or states led by Republicans by focusing on the issues that affect the everyday lives of Americans.
Democratic Party definitely has a job to do to re-earn the faith of the American people. We can't be running after every outrage of the day. The most important thing we can do is be laser focused on people's jobs, their next doctor's appointment, the roads and bridges they drive, the school they drop their kids off at, and whether they feel safe in their community. That's the way we earn back the faith of those people who are down on the party.
This year's visit comes as other prominent Democrats visit the state. California Governor Gavin Newsom came last week. These visits are driving speculation that the pair are testing the waters to run for president in 2028. Attorney General Russell Coleman followed a lawsuit against Chinese shopping platform Temu for stealing Kentuckians' data and counterfeiting some of Kentucky's most iconic brands. The complaint mentions the app counterfeiting the University of Kentucky, Buffalo Trace Distillery, and Churchill Downs. It also alleges the company uses forced labor from minorities in clear violation of U.S. trade deals. Temu is owned by a multi-billion-dollar Chinese company whose first retail app was eventually banned from U.S. app stores for being malware. New developments in the push to release the Jeffrey Epstein files. President Donald Trump has asked his attorney general to get authorization from the court to release grand jury testimony in the case. It comes as the president is also threatening to sue the Wall Street Journal over claims that the president allegedly sent a bawdy letter to Epstein for his 50th birthday. The House overnight approved the administration's request to cut billions of dollars in federal funding from foreign aid and public TV and radio just ahead of today's deadline. CBS's Jared Hill has more from New York.
For President Donald Trump, another shift on the Epstein files.
Whatever's credible, she can release.
The president says he's ordered Attorney General Pam Bondi to petition the courts to allow the release of any and all pertinent grand jury testimony related to the case of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. While Bondi says the DOJ can make the request as soon as today, approval could take some time. Overnight, President Trump also blasted a Wall Street Journal article that claims he sent Epstein a bawdy note for his 50th birthday, featuring a doodle of a naked woman. Online, President Trump called the letter fake, writing it's not the way he talks and he doesn't draw pictures, threatening to sue the paper. Over the past few days, President Trump has criticized Republican interest in the Epstein case.
It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats, and some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net.
On Capitol Hill, there's been a bipartisan push for transparency.
We obviously want the files released.
Meanwhile, just past midnight, the House passed the White House's rescissions package.
The resolution is adopted,
clawing back more than $9 billion in federal funding for foreign aid, NPR, and PBS.
We thought it was a waste of taxpayer funds.
The policy win amid a moment of medical transparency. The White House says President Trump has a benign and common vein condition known as chronic venous insufficiency, the diagnosis after getting checked for swelling in his legs. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Well, President Trump's physician says his exam did not reveal any evidence of a more serious condition like deep vein thrombosis or arterial disease. He also maintains that the 79-year-old president is in excellent overall health. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump is expected to sign legislation that regulates cryptocurrency today at the White House. Well, Kentucky Educational Television is set to lose millions in federal funding, and KET announced they will not cover the annual Fancy Farm political event. The station could lose 14% of their $31 million budget. That's more than $4.3 million. Todd Piccarelli, KET's senior marketing director, says they've done everything they could to explain the impact on the 2 million Kentuckians they serve weekly, like educators and first responders, as they're the state's primary source for emergency alerting.
As we're heading through the next couple hours, temperatures will warm into the upper 80s and low 90s. Here's a look at that forecast high for today. Going to see those 90s in cities that don't see as much rain. Speaking of the rain, if you're heading off to the golf range, the Stonecrest Golf Course and Top Racer Range tee time forecast, well, it's going to tell you that it's not a great day to be raining. We're seeing those scattered shower chances in the morning, and those storm chances will pick up as we're heading into the afternoon hours. Here's a look at that forecast for your Friday. We'll hit the high around that 4 p.m. mark, start cooling down as the rain chances really ramp up. Amelia.
Well, thanks for joining us on Mountain News this morning at 6:09. We've got